Genesis. Chapter 16. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, and he had an Egyptian maidservant whose name was Hagar. So Sarai said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from having children. Go, sleep with my maidservant, perhaps I can build a family through her." Abram listened to Sarai. So Sarai, Abram's wife, took her Egyptian maidservant Hagar and gave her to Abram her husband as a wife, after Abram had lived in Canaan for 10 years. He slept with Hagar, and she conceived. When she saw that she was pregnant, her mistress was despised in her eyes. Then Sarai said to Abram, "The wrong done to me is on you. I gave my maidservant into your arms, and now that she is pregnant, she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me." And Abram said to Sarai, "Behold, your servant is in your hand, do to her as seems good to you." And Sarai mistreated her, and she fled from her presence. Then the angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, by the spring on the way to Shur. And he said, "Hagar, servant of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going?" And she said, "I am fleeing from the presence of Sarai my mistress." Then the angel of the Lord said to her, "Return to your mistress and submit to her authority." The angel of the Lord also said to her, "I will greatly multiply your descendants, so that they will be too numerous to count." The angel of the Lord also said to her, "Behold, you are pregnant and will bear a son, and you shall call his name Ishmael, for the Lord has heard your affliction. And he will be a fierce man, his hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility toward all his brothers." And she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her, "You are the God who sees me," for she said, "Have I not even here seen him who sees me?" Therefore the well is called Beer-lahai-roi, it is between Kadesh and Bered. Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram named his son whom Hagar bore Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael. Chapter 17. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abram and said to him, "I am God Almighty, walk before me faithfully and be blameless. I will establish my covenant between me and you and will greatly increase your numbers." Abram fell face down, and God said to him, "As for me, this is my covenant with you, you will be the father of many nations. No longer will you be called Abram, your name will be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. I will make you very fruitful, I will make nations of you, and kings will come from you. I will establish my covenant between me and you and your descendants after you for the generations to come, for an everlasting covenant, to be God to you and to your descendants after you. And I will give to you and to your descendants after you the land of your sojournings, all the land of Canaan, as an everlasting possession, and I will be their God." God also said to Abraham, "As for you, you shall keep my covenant, you and your descendants after you throughout their generations. This is my covenant, which you shall keep, between me and you and your descendants after you, every male among you shall be circumcised. You shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. Every male among you shall be circumcised when he is 8 days old throughout your generations, whether born in your house or bought with money from any foreigner who is not of your offspring. He who is born in your house and he who is bought with your money shall be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh as an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised male, whose foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people, he has broken my covenant." God also said to Abraham, "As for Sarai your wife, you shall not call her Sarai anymore, but Sarah shall be her name. For I will bless her, and I will give you a son by her, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations, kings of peoples shall come from her." Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed, and said in his heart, "Shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child?" And Abraham said to God, "Oh, that Ishmael might live before you." Then God said, "No, Sarah your wife shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his descendants after him. As for Ishmael, I have heard you, behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly, he shall beget 12 princes, and I will make him into a great nation. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, whom Sarah shall bear to you at this time next year." When he had finished speaking with Abraham, God went up from him. Then Abraham took his son Ishmael, and all those born in his house, and all those bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and he circumcised the flesh of their foreskin that very day, as God had spoken to him. Abraham was 99 years old when the flesh of his foreskin was circumcised. And Ishmael his son was 13 years old when the flesh of his foreskin was circumcised. On that very day Abraham and his son Ishmael were circumcised. And all the men of his household, both those born in his house and those bought with money from a foreigner, were circumcised with him. Chapter 18. Then the Lord appeared to him by the oaks of Mamre, as he sat at the entrance of his tent in the heat of the day. He looked up and saw 3 men standing near him. When he saw them, he ran from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed down to the ground. He said, "My Lord, if I have found favor in your eyes, do not pass by your servant. Let a little water be brought, and then wash your feet and rest yourselves under this tree. And I will bring you a morsel of bread, so that you may refresh yourselves and then go on your way, now that you have come to your servant." "Do as you have said," they replied. So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah and said, "Quick, get 3 measures of fine flour, knead it, and make loaves of bread." And Abraham ran to the herd, and took a tender and good calf, and gave it to the servant, who hurried to prepare it. And he took butter and milk, and the calf which he had prepared, and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they ate. And they said to him, "Where is Sarah your wife?" And he said, "There, in the tent." And he said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and behold, Sarah your wife shall have a son." And Sarah was listening at the door of the tent, which was behind him. And Abraham and Sarah were old, well advanced in years, Sarah had ceased to have children. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying, "After I am worn out and my Lord is old, shall I now have this pleasure?" Then the Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh, saying, 'Shall I indeed bear a child, now that I am old?' Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the appointed time I will return to you, about this time next year, and Sarah will have a son." But Sarah denied it, saying, "I did not laugh, for she was afraid." And he said, "Do not say that, for you did laugh." Then the men rose from there and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham went with them, to see them off. Then the Lord said, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Since Abraham will surely become a great and powerful nation, and all nations on earth will be blessed through him. For I have chosen him, so that he will direct his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just, so that the Lord will bring about for Abraham what he has promised him." The Lord said further, "Because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grave, I will go down now and see whether they have done according to the outcry that has reached me, and if not, I will know." Then the men turned their faces from there and went toward Sodom, but Abraham remained standing before the Lord. Then Abraham approached and said, "Will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you really sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous people in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike. Far be it from you. Will not the judge of all the earth do right?" Then the Lord said, "If I find 50 righteous people in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake." Abraham replied, "Now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, though I am but dust and ashes. What if there are only 45 righteous people there? Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5? He answered, "If I find 45 there, I will not destroy it." Again the Lord said, "What if only 40 can be found there?" He answered, "For the sake of 40, I will not do it." Then Abraham said, "May the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. What if only 30 can be found there?" He answered, "If I find 30 there, I will not do it." Then the Lord said, "Now that I have been so bold as to speak to the Lord, what if only 20 can be found there?" He answered, "For the sake of 20, I will not destroy it." Then the Lord said, May the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. What if only 10 can be found there? And he said, I will not destroy it for the sake of the 10. The Lord went away when he had finished speaking to Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. Chapter 19. The 2 angels came to Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting at the gate of Sodom. When Lot saw them, he rose to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. He said, My lords, please turn aside into your servant's house and spend the night, and wash your feet. Then you can get up early and go on your way. No, they said, we will spend the night in the street. But he urged them strongly, and they went with him and entered his house. He prepared a feast for them and baked unleavened bread, and they ate. Before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both young and old, all the people from every quarter, surrounded the house. They called to Lot and said to him, Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us, so that we may have relations with them. So Lot went out to them at the door and shut the door behind him. And he said, My brothers, I beg you, do not do this wicked thing. Look, I have 2 daughters who have not known a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do to them as you please. Only do nothing to these men, for they have come under the shelter of my roof. But they said, Get out of here. And they said, This fellow came here as a foreigner, and now he wants to be a judge. We will treat you worse than them. And they rushed upon the man, Lot, and came near to break down the door. But the men reached out their hands and brought Lot into the house with them and shut the door. And they struck the men who were at the door of the house with blindness, from the least to the greatest, so that they wearied themselves trying to find the door. Then the men said to Lot, Do you have anyone else here? Sons-in-law, sons, daughters, or anyone else who belongs to you in this city? Get them out of here. We are about to destroy this place, because the outcry against its inhabitants is so great before the Lord that the Lord has sent us to destroy it. Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who were to marry his daughters, and said, Get up. Get out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city. But his sons-in-law thought he was joking. At dawn the angels urged Lot, saying, Get up. Take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away in the sin of the city. But he lingered. So the men seized him and his wife and his 2 daughters by the hand, the Lord being merciful to him, and they brought him out and set him outside the city. And it came to pass, when he had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou anywhere in the plain, escape thither unto the mountains, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto him, O no, my lord. Behold now, thy servant hath found favor in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast shown unto me, to save my soul and life, but I cannot escape to the mountains, lest evil overtake me, and I die. Behold now, the city is near to flee to, and it is small, let me escape thither, is it not small, that my soul may live? And he said unto him, Behold, I have accepted thee in this matter also, that I will not destroy the city, of which thou hast spoken. Hurry, escape thither, for I cannot do any, until thou comest there. Therefore was the name of the city called Zor. The sun rose over the earth when Lot entered Zor. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah, from the Lord out of the heavens. Thus he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities, and also the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Early the next morning Abraham got up and returned to the place where he had stood before the Lord. He looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward all the land of the plain, and he saw smoke rising from the land like smoke from a furnace. When God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham, and he rescued Lot from the midst of the destruction. He overthrew the cities where Lot had lived. Lot went up from Zor and lived in the mountains with his 2 daughters, for he was afraid to stay in Zor. And he lived in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. Then the firstborn said to the younger, Our father is old, and there is no man on earth to come in to us according to the custom of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and let us lie with him, that we may preserve offspring through our father." So they made their father drink wine that night. And the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. And it came to pass the next day that the firstborn said to the younger, "Look, I lay with my father last night. Let us make him drink wine tonight also, and then you go in and lie with him, that we may preserve offspring through our father." So they made their father drink wine. Lot also drank wine with her father that night, and the younger daughter arose and lay with him, and he did not perceive when she lay down or when she arose. And both of Lot's daughters conceived by their father. The firstborn bore a son and called his name Moab, he is the father of the Moabites to this day. The younger also bore a son and called his name Ben-Ammi, he is the father of the Ammonites to this day. Chapter 20. And Abraham journeyed from there to the land of the south, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and he sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, "She is my sister." So Abimelech king of Gerar sent and took Sarah. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said to him, "Behold, you shall be a dead man because of the woman whom you have taken, for she is married to a husband." But Abimelech had not yet come near her, therefore he said, "Lord, will you also slay a righteous nation? Did he not himself say to me, 'She is my sister'?" And she herself said, "He is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and the purity of my hands I have done this." And God said to him in a dream, "I know that in the integrity of your heart you did this, and I also kept you from sinning against me, therefore I did not allow you to touch her. Now therefore, restore the woman to her husband, for he is a prophet, and he will pray for you, that you may live, but if you do not restore her, know that you shall surely die, you and all that is yours." So Abimelech rose early in the morning, called all his servants, and spoke all these words in their hearing, and the men were greatly afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, "What have you done to us? And how have I sinned against you, that you have brought such a great sin upon my kingdom? You have done to me what you should not have done." Abimelech also said to Abraham, "What did you see, to do such a thing?" And Abraham said, "Because I thought to myself, surely there is no fear of God in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. And indeed, she is also my sister, the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. And it came to pass, when God caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said to him, 'This is the kindness that you shall show me, in every place where we come, say of me, he is my brother.' Then Abimelech took sheep and oxen, and male and female servants, and gave them to Abraham, and he restored Sarah his wife to him. And Abimelech said, 'Behold, my land is before you, dwell wherever it pleases you.' And to Sarah he said, 'See, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver, behold, it is a veil for your eyes before all who are with you, and before all others, and you are warned.' And Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, and his wife, and his female servants, so that they bore children. For the Lord had completely closed all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah Abraham's wife.